Hello, and welcome to the Handy Capable Black Woman podcast. I'm a woman, I am of color, and I am handy capable, but most importantly, I am human. Well, today's episode is going to be about disability awareness and just common sense because I see more and more, especially after being diagnosed, that common sense is not common. And I'm kind of doing this because also years ago, before my diagnosis, with some people I know from like either work or school and things who had disabilities, they always complimented me for treating them like human beings and not just outright asking, how'd you end up like this? How'd you end up with your disability? What's wrong with you? And so I am going to list off ways to start a conversation with someone with a disability. And yeah, some of you guys are going to be saying, duh. Yeah, well, no, no. It's been proven more and more why we need this. And so I kind of said some of the obvious ones because don't just walk up to somebody with a disability and ask, what's wrong with you? Yeah, that's not good. Yeah. It's like, how would you feel if people just walked up to you and asked, what's wrong with you? It's like, that's not polite, especially if you do not know the person, you have never met them whatsoever, and you're just at the point where you're just like, why, why on earth is this person just coming? It's like, we all know why, because the person is nosy and they want to gossip and they just have to know. It's like they don't care about your feelings, your emotions, your mental health. It's like, even it can be, because this has happened to me, it can be in the middle of a nail salon, it can be at a cafe, it can be at a restaurant, it can be at the, like, I can write another version of the Dr. Seuss book. It's like, it can be in a house, it can be like, yeah, it's like in a hospital, it can be at a auto place. It doesn't matter. People are going to just come up out of the blue and just ask, what's wrong with you? And they don't care about your feelings, they don't care about your emotions. They more just care about, I just want to know. I'm just curious. I don't care how you feel at the end of the day. As long as I get the answers that I want. And if I feel like gossiping about you or talking about you behind your back later, then at least I somewhat listened to what your condition is. And even though I'm acting as though I think you are contagious and you're letting me know you're not contagious, I'm still going to treat you like you are, just to make you feel even more like an outsider. The joys of having a disability and being surrounded by people who have no care in the world on how to treat other people like they're human beings. Yay! Okay, but here are some other ones. And don't worry, I'm going to give you guys some ways to have full blown conversations, but one step at a time. Because I've had people come up to me and say, oh, I guess you didn't get good enough health insurance. It's like, maybe if you would save up some money, you can afford good enough insurance so they can get you back to normal, huh? Yeah. And then, so what happened to you? It's like, I just want to know. I want the whole story. What happened to you? It's like, you must be at home all of the time. It's like assuming or thinking that people with disabilities are just home all the time just because they're unique in your opinion. They are different in your opinion. It's like, one, again, we're talking about mental health, so you labeling people like that. And I've heard it a few times before where people would say out loud, why on earth do they have the handicap parking spots 24/7? It's like they don't go out at night. They don't have lives. They don't go to restaurants. They don't go and have a fun time. No, they're disabled. They have a handicap. If you have a handicap, you can't have a life. No, never. So yeah, it's like just know that's a stupid question. Like, yeah, and sometimes people say there's no such thing as stupid. Yeah, it's like I would almost agree, but when people are literally boxing in everybody with a disability and saying, since you're different from me, then you can't possibly take advantage of any of the opportunities on this planet, in this country, in the state, city, whatever, because since you're different, you can't. But here's some more. When are you going to get fixed? Making me feel like I'm gonna go to an auto place and get an oil change, like, or just go to a drive-through hospital. Be like, okay, fix me up so that I can be normal again. No, no, that's not how disabilities, and that's not how our, especially America's health system, that's not how it works. But then also, you're not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed to what? I'm not embarrassed to live. I'm not embarrassed to be in public. I'm not embarrassed to be myself. I'm not embarrassed to show you that I'm still a human being. Because a lot of people forget, like, I'm still human. And yes, I walk differently. And so for some people, they speak differently, or they maybe they're in a wheelchair, or it's like there's different types of disabilities. But even though people do something differently, does not mean that they should be embarrassed for being different, being unique, standing out. They're human. And a lot of people keep forgetting that, especially in today's political atmosphere. And that's one reason why I will hold hands with the LGBTQ community, is like because people put them down for standing out, being themselves, loving, and just for loving. It's like people are hating on them for loving. But at this, and I've been thinking a lot about it lately because people keep saying it's a sin to be in the LGBTQ, blah, blah, blah. But when the same people who are putting them down are then turning around and getting divorced, yeah, in the Bible, you're not supposed to get divorced. And then adultery. A lot of these Republicans, yeah, yeah, a lot of these Republicans keep getting caught, cheating on their spouses. But yeah, but they don't want to talk about that. Yeah, it's like it's not exactly connected to the topic, but at the same time, it's like we're all human. None of us are quote unquote perfect. We can be perfect in our own image. We can be perfect with our own identity, but we're human. And judging everybody and like that takes too much time. That takes way too much time. Why not have inner peace? Why not have inner love? Why not accept oneself? Because I think once you accept yourself, then maybe you won't judge everybody so harshly. And maybe you won't be so scared to be around people who are different than yourself, because since you love who you are and you have inner like love and respect for yourself, then you're gonna be like, okay, they're living their life. They're, being themselves. And them being themselves is not going to hurt or damage who I am. But, okay, so here are some more. Here are some more. Is what you have contagious? You won't believe how many people ask me that. Or sometimes they don't ask. Like if I'm walking in the parking lot and some people are walking by me, all of a sudden they would just kind of like run away. Or some people have shouted, "Oh my gosh, you just need to stay home. You're contagious. Oh, I can't catch what you have." Or because even in the grocery store, if I get in a lane, I've had a lady just in my face. I don't want to catch what you have. It's like, okay, why don't you get another lane? And she just acted so disgusted, and I'm like, ma'am, I'm not contagious. It's a disability. Oh well, I just want to make sure I don't end up like you. Yeah, mental health. How great is mental health? So it's like here's another one. Will, dang, you're black and have a disability. God really didn't love you much. But okay, we're just gonna move on because, like I said, like sometimes people don't. People say, "Oh, there's no stupid questions or comments," or like, that was stupid. So, and they're showing that they're ableist. Excuse me, they're showing that they're ableist and probably a bigot, racist, no good. Like, yeah, they don't love themselves. But so you must only date R words. Wow, another stupid comment. And then you're lucky you never have to work. You could just be lazy at home. Lucky. Well, I do enjoy like working on my projects, trying to get my business together, and then I also work different jobs, and I do try to to make sure I have my own income and everything. And other people with disabilities also also do that. But for some reason, people think if you have a disability, that that means you want to be lazy, and that means you're going to use it as an excuse to continue being lazy. And here's another: if it wasn't for your walk, you would you would be a 10. Do you know how many men have told me to basically just go home and get fixed, or go to the hospital, get fixed, take this lozenge or this vitamin, and I've had family members do this too, and it gets frustrating and annoying to the point where I'm just like, if I'm not good enough, why not just say it? Don't beat around the bush. It's like, because again, like, yes, it would have hurt my mental health, but it's like instead of hearing that one sentence, I'm hearing like a half hour of words of, if you could take better care of yourself, if you could do this. Because this is before I got diagnosed, but as, even now that I'm diagnosed, people just tell me, well, if you pray hard enough, if you take this lozenge or this vitamin, or if you would go and get this surgery, and it's like, even though the doctors said they don't know if it's actually going to work, who cares if it works? At least just go get the surgery, risk it. And that is like, some people really don't like that. Agitated the mess out of me because literally I had one or two doctors tell me there is an experimental procedure, but they have never done it on someone with my disability before, so they don't know if it will actually work. But if for the 37 years people did not believe me, and they said I was lying when I said I'm walking this is how I walk. And so doctors allowed my legs to get more and more damaged without treatment, medication, and everything. But then doctors said, oh, you can't blame us. We were guessing. You can't blame us. It can't be our fault. But now that I'm fully diagnosed and going through this new reality, people are still blaming me. It's like, you're too cute, you're too pretty. It's like, just go to the hospital, just go to the doctors and get fixed. Duh. Well, you don't have my disability, you don't know how it feels, you don't know what I've been through. Duh. So it's just annoying because when people are telling me all of these items, all of these things, and then turn around and tell me, just go and get fixed. Um, okay, well, if the doctors were able to do that without it being experimental, I think that might be, an option. Maybe. Just maybe. And then them accusing me of not having good insurance. Like, I had, well, I mean, there were a couple years where the insurance wasn't the best, but it was good, and I paid a lot of money out of pocket when I was trying to get tests and trying to prove that like, me walking the way I did was not my fault. Thousands of dollars I paid out of pocket. So it's just, and then but the part I don't get is, you must be home all the time. And you know what? At the moment, I am home a lot, but it's more because I'm working on my YouTube channel. I'm working on my children's books, my novels, trying to get that business together. But then also my job, a lot like now it's like I'm able to work at home. And so I'm able to work at home. I'm doing my business and everything. And I'm trying to get my business together so that next year I will be able to start saving up for maybe some trips and some adventures and activities. And one of my friends, because as I get the YouTube channel together, I want to start saving up money to go and do different things and putting a little petty twist to it. I want to try axe throwing. And my friend already said, oh, okay, yeah, if we can do that, that would be cool. So, um, yeah, soon you guys are going to be seeing me be out in public. And it's like going to different bookstores because I'm going to be doing book reviews very soon as well. And so when people try to come up to me and ask me these ignorant, awful, dreadful questions, I'm gonna maybe give them some advice because here's just a short list of how you can actually introduce yourself and at least treat the person like they're human. Because again, walking up to somebody and just saying, what's wrong with you? What happened? And on more than one occasion, you do not know how many, you won't believe how many times someone has asked me, did you get run over by a car? If you listen to the one on IQ episode, my first IQ episode, I talk about this. But then also, the one that's so frustrating is, did your husband or boyfriend beat you? And they sound just like that. They sound excited. Like, you would be excited to meet a woman that's getting a beat. Like, what? What? Am I, am I hearing you right? How stupid are you? How slow, like, real, what, instead of having empathy or sympathy or seeing if I need help, you're excited. You would be excited if that's how I walk the way I do. So, yeah, guys, like when you're in public, if you see someone with a disability, instead of saying ignorant, stupid, naive, idiotic, things like that, here's a few things. First, you can ask, hi, how are you? Like you would any other adult that you've never met. You want to introduce yourself. And it's like, how, how are you enjoying like the fall? How are you enjoying the summer or whatever season or day? It's like, what have you been doing this summer? Did you go to the beach? It's like, I haven't been to the beach for so long, but it's like, do you know of any good beaches in the area? I don't know. It's like I'm just, or if you guys are both at a store, is like look in their cards, see if you have anything in common, and start the conversation like with, because especially if I see someone going on like the frozen aisle and I see some ice cream, oh I love ice cream, so it's like if I see that they have a flavor that I like, boom, there's a conversation starter. Or fashion wise, it's like if you see something that they're wearing that you think is cute, let them know, compliment them. Mental health. So, because I mean, especially if you're going to try to ask them about their disability, at least prove, you are proving to them that you see that they are human, that you see that they're not just a disability, that they are a full entity of a being, and they are more than the disability. And if they watch sports, or so you can even see if they watch sports. It's like, how was that last game last night? It's like, oh yeah, there was a baseball or basketball or hockey or football and tennis, and I mean, there's so many things you can ask about. And especially if they have a shirt that has a certain sports team on it, it's like if you like them, love them, whatever. It's a conversation starter. And then, yeah, back to like how the food was, the weather. It's like there's so many. Basically, pretend that person does not have a disability. How would you go up to them and like just greet them? How would you just how would you want to get to know them as a friend? Even if even if you don't want to be their friend, even if it's just to find out about their disability, take that mask off for a minute, take off their disability for just a minute, and like start the conversation. Because more than because I've been there where some people try to come up to me and they start the conversation. I know they're gonna get to the disability question, but I at least give them credit or at least acknowledging me as a human for a few minutes. And I just wish more people would do that because we're all that's one reason why in my saying I say, but most importantly, I am human, because a lot of people forget, or a lot of people, especially the bigoted people, they don't. If I have a disability, I'm not human. I'm not good enough. Remember, I've mentioned a couple times in my pod or in um, my original podcast that last year I was on a date, and after talking to this guy for 2 months, and I told him about my disability, I let him know from the start. But at the table, he was just like, "You're beautiful, you're smart, you're blah, 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 but I just can't date a cripple. I just can't date a retard. I would be embarrassed if I walked around with you." So it's just, but he knew this, like, for how come he talked to me practically every single day for about 2 to 3 months, every single day, texting me, "Hi, gorgeous, how are you? How are your books going? How's your book writing? What character are you working on? Oh, you posted a new poem. Oh, give me the link. I want to check it out." I was like, I want to, give it a thumbs up and everything. And yeah, going through 2 to 3 months of that. And then he says that in public. And he didn't say it quietly. The waitress that was there heard, because I remember the way she turned her head when he said, "I just can't date a cripple." She turned her head like, "Girl, girl, girl." It's like, if I got this. So, and he was like, "Oh, if he runs, I'll chase him." It's like that was the kind of facial expression she had on her face. But since getting diagnosed, I'm realizing how shallow, closed minded, and uneducated people are when it comes to people with disabilities. And that's another reason why I am determined to keep going with my podcast, keep going with my now YouTube channel and now YouTube podcast, and why I'm going to be writing as many novels and books as humanly possible that has disability like representation and stuff, because it matters. It's like, as a human entity, I we need more people to know that we as well matter, because we're still having a hard time showing people that Black Lives Matter. And so it's like, yeah, with disability representation, yeah, we're working on that too. But thank you so much for listening. And I'm going to be working on some episodes about the Crown Act on the podcast and on the YouTube channel, because there's receipts that I can't show on the podcast version. So it's like, especially when it comes to the legislation, when it comes to the definitions and things, that's going to be the YouTube channel. And then when it comes to story time, I'm going to talk about why the Crown Act can help, again, with mental health. And a lot of my episodes, like around the end of this year, is going to be focused on different things that will help mental health, because the Crown Act is about African American natural hair, everybody's natural hair, but especially Afrocentric hair. It's like African Americans have the most fragile hair compared to every other ethnicity. And so the heat damage, and then there's like the relaxers and all this stuff trying to conform our hair to meet European like beauty standards, but we're not European. Yeah, so going to be doing story time about why it's crucial, why it's needed, and why Republicans, because only, I believe, the first time it got voted, only 8 Republicans out of all the other Republicans voted yay on it. All of the others said nay. And Lauren Boebert even said it was a stupid law to begin with. But then after she said that, she was misquoted, but no, she said it on video. This is like, she said exactly that. But then she said that people took it the wrong way. Well, no, no, in my opinion, no. I watched the video, uh, but now it's going to be getting voted in a second time, because it got denied the first time, and so now we have, I believe it's um, New Jersey Democrats. We have 2 New Jersey Democrats doing it again, trying to get the proposal through again and everything. So I'm hoping, because right now it's passed in about 13 to 15 different states, and then 22 city areas. So, but anyways, yeah, I'm going to be talking about the Crown Act very soon, and also why the Crown Act and natural hair. I'm going to be emphasizing disability, natural hair, people of color, and just diversity within my books and novels, because it's needed. We need it so badly. But thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman YouTube channel, podcast, combination of both. But just know, I'm a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.